Hello there and welcome back to another video. If you are in the market for a slim, lightweight 13-inch notebook, you probably heard of Dell's XPS 13 before. While the XPS lineup has kept the same design for the past few years, Dell overhauled the smallest variant significantly for 2022. Divided into the regular 13 and the completely new 13 Plus, the stylish ultrabook comes in a ton of different configurations. While we are also working on a video comparing both options, we are focusing on the fancy new one today. Equipped with Intel's powerful Alder Lake chips, up to 32GB of LPDDR5 RAM and high-end 4K or OLED display options, wrapped in a very good looking chassis, the XPS 13 Plus is set out to compete with the MacBook Airs and similar high-end ultrabooks to be the ultimate portable everyday lifestyle laptop. While the 13 Plus looks very familiar when the lid is closed, the design changes are very obvious as soon as you open it up. You are greeted with the display option of your choice in a 16:10 aspect ratio with almost non-existent screen bezels, giving the sleek 13-incher a very modern look. In addition, Dell is kicking out the function keys and replacing them with their version of a touch bar above the new keyboard. The large keys without any space between them do look very clean, an impression that is elevated further by the touchpad, or well, the lack thereof, but more on that later. While the Dell XPS is one of the smallest 13-inch notebooks, its weight is substantial in a way that doesn't make it heavy, but rather makes it feel well made and very sturdy. Stability and rigidity are both excellent and everything feels reassuringly solid. Following the trend of omitting useful ports, Dell limits the I/O in the small XPS to a pair of USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports on either side of the laptop. While Dell includes an adapter for both USB-A and a 3.5mm headphone jack, your options when it comes to plugging stuff into your shiny new laptop are very limited. Luckily, the Dell shines in wireless communication and delivers very fast transfer rates in our testing and tops our charts compared to competing devices. Since you might use the webcam in a communication-focused device a lot more than in a gaming laptop, for example, we would have wished for a sensor that could keep up with the high-end nature of the XPS Plus. While the image quality is alright in good lighting conditions, a 1080p variant would have been a better fit for your next video conference marathon. In terms of inputs, the 13 Plus made the biggest changes compared to the old and also to the regular XPS 13. Gone are the chiclet-style keys and are replaced by a completely new keyboard. The large keys are spanning the whole width of the device and look very clean, and while key travel is only a millimeter, the keyboard offers precise feedback and a very smooth typing experience. While it may take some time to get used to the different style, the keyboard is great for everyday use and also typing longer texts, scripts or messages. The touch bar can either display secondary functions, for example to set display brightness or system volume, or regular F keys. While it is a little gimmicky and we would have wished Dell would have included a way to manually set brightness, the touch-enabled surface works well and again makes for a very clean design. While it may be a bit awkward that you can't see the touchpad at first, it really isn't a problem at all once you start using the XPS. You simply forget about it very quickly and overall the touchpad area works really well and offers satisfying clicks. In terms of displays, Dell offers two FullHD panels, a glossy touch variant and the one from my unit, a matte non-touch version. My colleague Andreas was able to test the high-end 4K touch-enabled version, and Dell also sells a 3.5K OLED panel. The 4K and FullHD panels offer typical IPS viewing angles and above average brightness with numbers beyond 450 nits and very high contrast. They also offer solid numbers for sRGB with almost 100% coverage and around 75% for both DCI-P3 and Adobe RGB. Should you need better color reproduction, you should take a look at the optional OLED panel. But please be aware that PWM is present on those models. For all the detailed display stats, please follow the link in the description to our written reviews. You can find all of our testing results, including response times, calibration results and much more. The Plus is positioned as the performance model for the new XPS 13 lineup and comes either with the i5 1240p, i7 1260p or Intel's Alder Lake P flagship, the i7 1280p that I also have here in my review unit. While the small i7 and i5 share the 4 performance 8 efficiency core layout, the 1280p is similar to the high-end 12700H and offers 6 performance cores with hyperthreading and 8 efficiency cores. The additional cores translate into excellent performance benefits. While the XPS Plus with the i7 1260p already offers amazing performance numbers for such a small device, the 1280p supercharges the thin notebook. At least if your workloads are rather short and if you let the XPS run in ultra performance mode. The flagship silicon from Intel can use up to 60 watts for a short period of time before it levels out at roughly 28 watts for sustained multi-core loads. So while you have a hard time finding a faster chip for single core and short bursty multi-core loads, as soon as your workflow pushes the CPU for longer under full load, the performance difference between the Intel chips and the AMD 6800U, for example, is marginal. System performance is excellent. The speedy CPU and fast SSD make for a very smooth, responsive, everyday laptop experience. In our PC Mark benchmarks, only the AMD 6000 equipped ZenBook S13 can deliver higher scores. The Samsung NVMe SSD offers very fast transfer rates and can keep them up without any throttling. In the GPU department we can keep it short, since the XPS uses the same iGPU we already know from last year. While it is easily outperformed by the 680M in the new Ryzen chips, it still offers decent performance for multimedia purposes, such as high-resolution video playback. The occasional older or lightweight game is also possible if you stick to medium or medium-high settings. While the small notebook offers excellent performance, Alder Lake's lack of efficiency becomes apparent in terms of fan noise. In light workload or idle scenarios, the XPS Plus is dead silent or barely audible even when the two fans are spinning. In ultra performance mode, the XPS might offer the highest performance in its class, but it is also the loudest notebook compared to the competition. That said, you can tune down the fans significantly by using quiet mode, and even at full bore the fans are never bothersome with no annoying undertones. And loud is a relative term, especially if you usually deal with gaming laptops or content creation devices. Surface temperatures are mostly alright as well, only after longer full system workloads the bottom panel and area above the keyboard gets significantly warmer. Dell improved the sound quality for the new Ultrabook with a quad speaker setup, and the sound is alright if a little tinny. While the soundstage is detailed and gets reasonably loud, it cannot compete with the latest MacBook Air that just offers a lot more bass and a far richer sound overall. That said, it is absolutely alright for YouTube videos or some Netflix shows. While we already know that Alder Lake isn't the perfect choice for long battery life, your display choice when buying the XPS 13 Plus will also play a significant role. The 4K variant with the 1260p lasts around 7 hours in our Wi-Fi test and a respectable 11 hours in our video playback test. In contrast, the FullHD model with its 1280p netted us above 10 hours in our Wi-Fi test. While both the AMD-equipped ZenBook S13 and new MacBook Air offer a lot more battery runtime, it is a compromise you will have to make when choosing the powerful Intel CPUs. Alright guys, let's wrap things up. In a lot of ways, function follows form in the new XPS 13 Plus. There is no denying that Dell put together a great looking machine with its non-chiclet style keyboard, touch function keys and hidden touchpad. While we can't get behind the limited I/O, the small notebook offers a lot of performance that should even please power users that need a ton of single core and multi-core performance in a lightweight package. With a lot of options to choose from, it is easy to tailor the 13 Plus to your specific use case, and while battery life might be lacking compared to the competition, it is still very far from being unusable. With so many options right now, with new offerings with the latest silicon from Intel, AMD and Apple, please let us know what you guys are looking for in a small notebook. Is it performance, is it battery life, or a solid mixture between all of them? Please sound off in the comments below. As always, if you want to know more about anything I just talked about, please head over to our written review. We have our detailed test results and benchmark scores on our website. That would be it for today. Please subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our comparison between the 13 Plus and the regular XPS 13 coming really soon. If you felt entertained, please don't shy away from using the like button, it helps us tremendously. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Alex, you have been amazing and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Take care.